Welcome to TV Time with Chris. Now, I know today's been a crazy day with videos. This is going to be the fourth video for today, and it is late, but it's well worth it. Well worth it. We are talking about Loki. And
I know what this place is. The timekeepers have built quite the circus. And I see the clowns are playing their parts to perfection.
Big metaphor guy. I love it. Makes you sound super smart.
I am smart.
I know.
Okay.
Okay.
Please sign to verify this is everything you've ever said.
This is absurd.
Sign this too.
We protect the proper flow of time. You picked up the Tesseract, breaking reality. I want you to help us fix it.
Why me?
I need your unique Loki perspective.
Do I get a weapon?
Nah.
You really believe in this Loki variant?
Luckily, he believes in himself enough for the both of us.
Why? It is adorable that you think you could possibly manipulate me. I'm 10 steps ahead of you.
You're not big on trust, are you?
You can trust me.
Loki, I've studied almost every moment of your entire life. You've literally stabbed people in the back like 50 times.
Why never do it again?
Marvel, Disney, you guys okay. We all know how I felt about WandaVision and the way that it ended. And if you don't know, I'll link that video at the end so that you could see my thoughts on the finale of WandaVision. But when WandaVision was going, I had so many theories of what I wanted to see happen. And I think I built up this ending for the show that was too grand, was too elaborate. And obviously Marvel couldn't do that. Marvel is setting up the story like they always do. And they do it so well. So well. They really do. So I'm glad to see that this first episode of Loki, you know, burdened with glorious purpose, is tying it all together. It really is. It picks up exactly where you want it to pick up. At about the 2/3, the end of the second act, I guess you could say, of Endgame, where Loki grabs the Tesseract and disappears. This picks up there. So we see where Loki goes, what happens. It's immediately following. Now, the one thing that I didn't like about this would be, I guess, the continuity errors. Loki's, cuts and bruises from the Battle of New York kind of came and went. And his hair was not quite as long as it was in Avengers, which is where this is picking up right after. But we can overlook that. So we see what happens to Loki. And it starts to tie so many things together. And it's just, oh, Marvel. You guys, you know how to tell a story. Now, maybe it's because these are stories that have already been told through the comic books, but as someone who wasn't that into the comic books, looking at it from a cinephile's perspective of movies and TV, you guys know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. You really do. So yeah, this story shows us Loki goes to the time variance agency or whatever it was, the TVA. They're the ones who capture him essentially, because he went to the Gobi Desert, which I didn't quite understand. You have the Tesseract, the Space Stone. You can go anywhere. And he went from New York to Asia? Why not leave planet? But whatever. So, I get it. TV show, maybe the budget isn't what it would be. Whatever. Digress. So, they come. The TVA comes and captures him. And we get the story, essentially, of who the TVA are. What their purpose is, their goal in the vast multiverse, so to speak. And it just, I can't even say it enough. It's so good how it ties it all together. How Doctor Strange 2 is going to talk about the multiverse, and so is Spider-Man 3. And this is talking about how the multiverse ties together. The same way that the Ancient One was talking about the timeline in Endgame and how precious it is. It ties into this as well. It's so great to see, you know, everything tying together. And it's just... Okay, yes, I should have said this earlier. There are spoilers, but when Owen Wilson, who is Mobius, not to be mistaken for Morbius, different Marvel movie coming out, released by Sony later this year, he's an agent of the TVA, and he's looking for a time variant that is disrupting the flow of time. And he's in France, the 16th century France, and he sees a little kid and he's like, hey, do you know who did this? And the kid points up at the stained glass window at a picture of the devil. And I was like, oh, Mephisto! I wanted you in WandaVision, but if you show up, if they're pointing to Mephisto being the big baddie that I have been talking about since WandaVision, how I wanted Mephisto to be the main villain that they have to take out in the future Avengers movie. Oh, if they're setting that up, I was like... It was just, yes. I got so excited for it. But so many things about this, I loved. Loki's character has become a favorite character of mine. Tom Hiddleston does a great job portraying that role. Seeing him as D.B. Cooper and pulling off the heist and just fitting with how they found some of the money, but they didn't find it all, and they never found D.B. Cooper. It It fits. It fits. Everything's just, Marvel does their homework and they deliver entertaining performances that keep you engaged. And this one kept me engaged for the full 51 minutes, I think it was. So yes, Marvel, you did good with this. Disney, you're making up for the short episodes of The Bad Batch with these long episodes of Loki. I love it. 2 episodes a week. It's a lot, but again, I love it. Give it to me. Yes. So, Loki, you can find it on Disney Plus, obviously with a subscription. And if you're a Marvel fan, and if you enjoyed WandaVision, and if you had the same fan theories that I did, not so much the same theories, but if you had fan theories, which I'm sure you did, watch Loki, because you're going to see how everything will tie together. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful to see it in action. But that's all I'm going to say for Loki. We're going to keep this sweet and short. It is late, but anyway, be on the lookout for future videos where I'm going to be discussing Disney's work with Bad Batch and Loki, and see my fan theories with those shows and what's going to happen and what I want to see happen. And we'll see how wrong I really am, but it's a good time to do. So until then, stay safe and take care.